Okay, ladies. So there is a topic that keeps rearing its ugly head, and it has to do when the real world starts to bleed into your work life. And how do you manage this situation? And so there are two situations that everybody's talking about. And one of them is when Marjorie Taylor Greene and Representative Jasmine Crockett engaged in that verbal back and forth when Marjorie Taylor Greene's addressing Representative Crockett's lashes, and then Crockett clapped back, and someone said that someone had a bleached blonde
Bad
butch
bleep.
Built butch
bad.
body.
Okay, so there was that, and then we were going to talk about that, and then lo and behold,
Oh,
next thing you know, there's drama at Cannes. Okay. And so it started out where you saw this Kelly Rowland, who's known as a very mild mannered, chill person, was seen pointing her finger at one of the, what was it, a security guard,
security guard. Yeah. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
at Cannes. And then people started saying, oh my goodness, she has no class. Da, 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 da. But then a K-pop star, Yuna, was also the woman was blocking her as she was trying to get her dress pictures on the
Was that
stairs.
the one? Was that the one with Jesus dress?
No, then
Oh, that's
Maciel
another
Tavera.
one.
Yeah,
That's
then
another.
And then it got to the point where, like, I don't know who touched who first, but Maciel pushed her. And yeah, so anyway, it was the same person, and then her coworkers were defending her. So it's like this really wild scenario. And we as Black women and lady bosses, where is that place where we feel safe? What is our safe space to manage this? Anyway, your thoughts, ladies.
Yeah. I mean,
I
what I immediately think of is when you do clap back, a lot of times you get labeled as aggressive, or you become the person who's like the perpetrator. And it's really unfair because so many things will often, in this cases, you can see these like really unseen things happening, but they're sort of seen, where they're doing these aggressions towards you, and it really starts to affect your mental health. And then you have, how do you not get crazy at work is really the question.
Aurora?
one of the things I've been finding lately, and people I've been talking to, is that there's been a surge of Black females being very aware of mental health and bringing that to the forefront of workplace. And I really loved how AOC stepped in, Ocasio stepped in and had her back and was like, this is not appropriate. And when they interviewed her, she said nobody else had ever, she was the first time person on the floor as well, and nobody had her back. So she wanted to make sure she stood up for it. So I just think it's really important to keep in place mental health, work, and making sure it's balanced, because microaggressions can take you out and make you not able to do your daily job.
And we put an acronym that we created at Sispreneur Stories called SAFE. It's called S, stay composed, A, assert boundaries, F, find support, and E, empower yourself. And so we put a little bit more of that on our website. So go to sispreneurstories.com.
Hello, Memphis. I'm Ernest Strickland, President and CEO of the Black Business Association of Memphis. In a world filled with noise, we stand firm, advocating for the prosperity of our community. As the title sponsor of Sispreneur Stories, our involvement in Sispreneur Stories is a reflection of the serious work we're doing to redefine the business landscape in our city. May each episode be a catalyst for personal growth, resilience, and inspiration.
Welcome to Sispreneur Stories. We're a podcast created by three seventh-generation sister entrepreneurs. I'm Kanji.
I'm Aurora.
And I'm Janita. Today's theme is unlocking miracles. Are you a social entrepreneur? A social entrepreneur is an individual or organization dedicated to addressing pressing social, cultural, environmental, or community issues through innovative and sustainable business practices. Social entrepreneurs develop creative solutions to tackle challenges such as poverty, education, healthcare access, or environmental sustainability, often reinvesting profits into their mission and rigorously measure their impact. Resourcefulness, collaboration, adaptability, and ethical leadership are their hallmarks. by pursuing a dual bottom line, making a social. This month's powerful Sispreneur story begins right now.
Meet my sister. Brianna Davison is not just a social cispreneur. She's a visionary on a mission with a heart as big as her dreams. Her journey began with a single smile, a smile that she brought back to a young St. Jude Children's Research Hospital child who had lost her hair. This cranial hair design expert and instructor, who styled Grammy Award winner Jazmine Sullivan, faced a turning point that ignited her mission. She's not just crafting wigs. On top of her more than 100,000 Instagram followers, she's crafting confidence and hope in little girls. Her impact even caught the attention of Forbes Magazine and led her to the spotlight on Good Morning America. Welcome, 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 Brianna Davison. Hi.
Hello.
So we are so excited to hear your story and your journey. I've been following you on social media, and just you're the sweetest person in person, and you just have such a beautiful heart. So just, can you talk about your journey? I mean, I remember you saying that you were in high school cheer and dance, and now you are a social cispreneur. Can you just talk about that journey and how you got here?
Sure. And I first want to say thank you all for having me. Listen, Sispreneur for that. And just the title and the topic of everything, I just know that I'm in the right place. Okay. And just to give you a brief synopsis, because my life is wow. I mean, if that's the word, that's definitely the word wow. But I grew up a dancer. I grew up dancing. I was a cheerleader, majorette all of my life. Well, not my life, but I grew up dancing, cheerleader, majorette, as a child all the way up to a teenager. And my life just took a shift after my oldest brother. Well, let me tell y'all this. This is a juicy part. My oldest brother does hair as well. So, yes. So I grew
Family
up.
business.
Come on, do you hear me? So I grew up letting him, like, I was his mannequin basically. So he did everything on me. He tried all the new styles on me. And I had to literally just sit there and take it, right? I didn't have a choice but to have my hair done every day, every other day, right?
Oh,
So,
that's a problem. Oh,
Wait, and I
oh,
take it he's old. Is he older, Brianna?
he is older and he had the strongest hands in the world,
oh,
y'all.
no. I'm tender-headed. Tender-headed. Oh, no.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
listen. It was torture, okay? I have to be honest. It was kind of torture because I had to take it, and I had to have my hair done, and he had to try all these new styles on me, right? So I just knew when I grew up, I wasn't gonna do hair because I'm like, that's his thing. Like, that's not, what I want to do. But the older I got, he began to start telling me like, okay, you're not gonna get your hair done if you don't do my chores. Like, I had to start doing his chores and my chores to get my hair done. I'm like, you know what? It got to be another way around this. So I started doing my own hair. But y'all, I wasn't doing my own hair because I wanted to do hair. I had to do my own hair because I wasn't finna do all those chores, right? So in high school, I ended up doing my friend's hair. And these girls, I mean, they would always come to me. I was the hair person, like off top, like Bree gonna do our hair, such and such gonna do this, but I was the hair person. So they came to me. I started doing my friend's hair. And then on my way to college, I started realizing like, hey, I'm really doing a good job at this. Like I started doing new things. They started coming to me, can you do this? Showing me pictures. And I'm like, I never done it before, but I'll try. And every time I tried, it worked. Like, and it
Wow.
looked
So
good,
cool.
right? So in college, I noticed that even in the dorms, like all my time outside of school, I would be doing hair, y'all. And I wasn't even trying to be a hairstylist. It was just happening, right? So that was like my little side hustle in college. So one day, the lady in the office, I came to her and I was about to change my major for the third time because I didn't know what. I just knew, you go to college, I wanted to make my mama proud. I'm like, look,
And you
we
weren't,
gonna
and Brianna, and you weren't doing hair. So that was not one of the things.
Where did you go to school? Where'd you go to school?
I went to Lemoyne on.
Oh, yes. Okay. In Memphis. Okay. Go on.
So I went to to the office one day, and she was just like, Miss Davison, y'all, she asked me a question that literally shifted the trajectory of my life. Literally. She asked me, she said, Miss Davison, are you sure college is for you? And it made me think, because at that time I felt like I didn't have a choice. I wanted to make my parents proud. I wanted to just be the first in my family to graduate. Like, I wanted to be that one. But when she asked me that, I really thought about it, and I'm like, why am I here? Like,
Right.
what sparks my flame? Like, college wasn't doing it for me, but I knew all along I would be ready and waiting on my clients to come in the dorm rooms, you know what I'm saying, when we ain't got class. So on the weekends, I'm looking forward, to my clients or whatever. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to hair school. I just went there just to, look around. Y'all, literally, I walked through the doors, and the smell of the aroma in the room, like the minute I walked in and smelled like the oil sheens and hairsprays in the atmosphere, I knew that that's what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, I just got chills. You
Me
guys,
too. I'm like about to cry. That was very touching.
give
to
her
hear.
soul snaps. She
Soul
just
snap, soul
Yeah.
snap.
What a journey. That's so beautiful to
talked. That's the
really-
moment.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
okay, this is going to make me ask the next question then, Brianna. Seriously, most people don't listen to what their heart might be telling them, and they listen to their brain. And I find that when you follow your heart, that's your passion. So I just want to say kudos to you. And can you share that moment when you realize that passion for wig making could be turned into a powerful tool for social change?
Oh yeah. So went on with school, graduated and all that good stuff. And I came to Memphis. I came back home. And when I came back home, it was more so a culture shift for me, because I moved to North Carolina for 2 years. I went to hair school. Actually, I finished school in North Carolina. So I was around a lot of different cultures, I would say. And when I came home, I felt at home. And then when all of my clientele began to build, I just tried to make sure that I kept up with what was popping. The hair industry is always moving, it's always growing, it's always something new, right? So the wig industry came about because I believe it was like 2016. I mean, wigs, frontals, lace, it just began to explode. Do y'all hear me?
Yeah, the
what was
world
that thing?
changed.
What
Yeah,
was
what do
it?
you think?
I would say the wig industry started, I would say, to be honest, it was more so like the Real Housewives type thing. Like when,
Atlanta.
yeah, like that, around that
Oh,
area when it first came out, that's when people started noticing wigs, because the ladies that have a different wig on, they'll even talk about wigs and stuff like that. But yeah.
you're right. You're right. That's so when it happened. And sorry, last thing on that. And then they go from the first season, their wigs would be a little bit askew.
Twisted.
Second
Ooh.
season,
Twisted.
wig better. Third season,
Yes.
they were rocking real hair wigs. And the
Right.
game changed. You are
Yep.
so right, Brianna. Thank you for clarity.
Yep.
So when you went from stylist to wig making, continue with that journey. Wow, sorry, I cut in.
Well, honestly, y'all, when I realized the impact wigs were making, like the ladies, and I'm not even talking children right now. This was before I started the kids wig. It was like a whirlwind. It seemed like it happened so fast, seriously. So when that whirlwind happened, I strapped up my boots. I put on my gear, because I had to begin to get like assistance and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't take me. First of all, Paul Mitchell trained us very well. So they taught us everything is about timing. They want us to do things in a nice amount of time, but quality work. Like, they don't want you to rush through it, but they timed us on our work. So when I got back home from North Carolina, I was in a position to do 13 to 14 heads a day.
My God.
How many hours were you
know what?
working? Like 12-hour days?
Ooh, in those days, yeah, I would
Okay.
pull a good 12, 13 some days. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Wow.
I hope that Jeannie from Hair It Is not listening, but Jeannie used to have me up in Hair It Is from like the beginning of the day until like 8 o'clock at night. Do you remember they would just take everybody, and we were kids.
Yes.
And they would put the kids to the side and we'd say, all the new
Take
people
my
everybody
mom-
coming.
all of us.
And
Yes,
we'd be
my mo-
waiting.
And my mom would
Ow.
drop me off, and I would sit in the corner. She would drop
There
me off
it is.
at 10, and I would not get picked up till like 7 p.m. And I'd try to make eye contact with her every time she walked by, and she would just keep going by and doing someone else's hair.
Do my hair. Jeannie.
Jeannie.
To learn from Bree. Okay, sorry. Bree,
Jeannie.
you were saying.
I kind of created a system too, like to keep it flowing. Like you said, I'm just not that hairstylist, y'all, that's going to have people in the salon 4 and 5 hours. Like me seeing you for 2 hours, that's too long. Like 2 hours is too long. But just having that system set up to where, okay, you come in, my braider, she takes care of you, she shampoos, she does the breakdown. And when you sit in the chair, it's all me. It's me and you at this point. So it was just a system of me and my braider knowing, how to communicate, and her being trained to braid in a certain time frame. And then it takes me no time to install a wig. So it was just flowing like that. It was flowing like that for some years, actually. And, my clientele built, and the wig industry just continued to grow. And even to this day, it's still continuing to grow like rapidly.
Agree, because I feel like it has really gone outside of the African American community. We would see, remember in the 90s, the dance hall queens and the Caribbean women were into weaves and wigs, and it wasn't as popular in our culture. But I just feel like it's so global now. Like you can't go to any continent and not see people with weaves or wigs.
Correct. I agree.
So talk about the moment it started with that next phase of your, with kids.
Gotcha. So I had a client. Well, she wasn't my client. She was a parent of one of my previous clients, right? And she called and said that she wanted to get her granddaughter's hair done. And I'm like, okay. She was like, I want to get her a wig. She's going back to school, and I want you to look at her head. So I'm like, okay. So mind y'all, I'm not thinking about this being an actual 7-year-old child. I'm thinking maybe, 15, 16, 17 maybe, or maybe she's going to college school. I really didn't put too much thought into it at the time. But when she came for her consultation, I noticed the child, and I'm like just staring at her and staring at the grandma too. I'm just looking at both of them and like just really trying to process the fact that it's a child standing in front of me with absolutely no hair. And then it just hit me like, okay, she's talking about her, because like I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. Like this is the grandchild she's talking about. Like I really had like one of those moments like, whoa, like what just happened? But I kept my cool, and, I didn't want to scare the child, I didn't want to be awkward, like, so I set up, I talked to the grandma. Well, I let her talk because she talked. She did talking. So she was going on, and she was like, oh, well, she has alopecia, and, the kids have been bullying her. And, I just want to get her some type of wig to put on so she can go to school. And like I said, I'm looking at the child, I'm listening to grandma, but I'm just, observing her head. I got her in the chair and just, all of that. And the grandma, she was like, Bree, I know you can do it. Like, I don't know if she kind of felt what was going on in me internally at that time, but she was like, I know you can do it. Like, you can do this. Like she had so much faith in me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. Like in my head, like I never told her, y'all, that I didn't know what I was doing, that I didn't know, that I never, but I told her, I said, look, I'm going to measure her head, and can you give me 2 weeks and I have a wig for you? Measured her head, and in 2 weeks, within a week's time, I was going back and forth with my vendor that's overseas, because the way that the wigs are shaped, they only come small, medium, and large, right? So I'm telling my vendor like exactly what I need. I'm like, I know, I never, got this from you before. I don't even know if you can do this, but I need your help, right? So me and her going back and forth, I'm sending her the measurements, and she sent me like the smallest wig she can possibly send, because they only do it by certain type of head frames, right? So she sent me a wig, And when I got the wig, I instantly called the grandma. So she pulled up instantly, brought the baby, and y'all, I cannot sit here and say that that install was because of my knowledge or my talents or my gifts. And I know for sure that God makes room, like your gift makes room for you is what he told us, right? And I know for a fact that the Holy Spirit, that God himself taught me step by step what exactly to do. Like the minute she got in my chair, y'all, I didn't know what I was doing. Just imagine, you have never done this before, right? And I'm like, the wig, first of all, the wig did not fit at all. So I was nervous about that. I'm like, hold up, the wig ain't fitting. And like, I don't, I just.
Today's business tip is sponsored by Udal, connecting merchants with nearby consumers.
When thinking about social entrepreneurship, first identify your true passion. Take time for self-reflection to understand what brings you the greatest fulfillment. Identify what makes you feel the most fulfilled and aligned with your core values. Then explore social entrepreneurship by considering how you can address societal issues through innovative business solutions. By continuously learning and connecting with like-minded people, you will align your professional journey with your desire to contribute to society. Embracing your passion can provide a profound sense of purpose and empower you to make a meaningful difference in the world. And that's our business tip of the day.
Is this kind of like, I've heard people say that there are times that, they've been given a gift and they're executing the gift, and that when it's happening, they don't feel like it's them anymore. They feel like it's just going through them. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you. That was the perfect way you could have said that. That's exactly what I'm
Sorry,
saying.
Brianna, this reminds me of another woman that I talked to, and she was doing something and she wanted to create oils to help people. And she said, as she just sat there, she didn't know why she was picking stuff. And she said it was God telling her 2 drops of this, God telling her 6 drops of this. And the next thing she knew, she had this concoction that is selling off the shelves right now. So I absolutely believe in spirit guiding you to your passion and your heart. And that's an absolutely beautiful story. Just thank you for that.
Yeah.
So, right. And so when you saw then you saw the creation and her reaction to it. Can you walk us through that? And then I know Janita and Aurora have some more questions for you.
Yes, now this part, yes. So I finished her wig, and her grandma, she was actually, I had her to sit up front because, baby, I didn't know if I was going to be sweating or what. I didn't want her to even know that. I didn't know what I was doing. So I had her, and it was just me and her. So the whole time she was in my chair, I'm asking her about school. We just talking. Kids are very transparent. Like the way she was sharing stuff with me and just talking about how she didn't want to go to school. No, she said she wanted to go to school, but she didn't want to go to school looking like a boy, right? She was just saying like, oh, I be wanting to wear my hair like this. And she had pictures in her phone. Y'all, this baby she was prepared, right, to get her hair done. So she was like, can you do my hair like this? And she showed me the picture. And I'm like, oh, Lord, the baby won't braids. I don't braid. I'm like, sure. So literally did the braids in the front, and she had the curls in the back. I will never forget this day. Y'all, I must have turned the chair around for her to see herself in the mirror. That baby's reaction. I just had to step back and let her have it because she was so amazed. Like she was so. Oh, she was happy. The baby, y'all, she was different, first of all. She was very outspoken. That was my first kid client, and she was very outspoken. And I don't think nobody else has been as outspoken as Kaylin, right? Kaylin was like, oh my God. She said, it looks like my hair. She was like, y'all, she was just all into herself. She stood up. Her grandma had her all dressed up. So she had a little dress on. So she just twirling. She just looking. And she was like, oh, she just pulling in her hair, touching her hair. And she was so happy. She was so grateful. And she just kept saying, thank you, Miss Brianna. Thank you, Miss Brianna. And I'm like, Lord. And then her grandma came. Oh, baby, the grandma just made a whole scene in the whole salon. Like everybody in the salon that day, that I know they would never forget that day either, because that grandma was like, "Look at my baby." She was so loud. Everybody was just like, "What's going on in Bree room?" Like they come down the hallway, and then everybody taking pictures. I'm like, oh my God. But it was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. And then to have her to be so open with it. Like I wasn't expecting her. You know, some kids come around, they be all shy. They act shy around you, but then they go home and then the parents see you videos of them all in the mirror. And it wasn't Kaylin. Kaylin was in the mirror, honey. Kaylin was like, "Is this my hair?" Like she was just making all type of jokes. And I went live on Facebook because of her reaction, right? So I just went live on Facebook. She all in the camera. Miss Brianna just did y'all this. I'm talking about I just let her take the floor.
Did you guys go viral, Brianna?
Oh yeah, we did. We did. But actually not that first Facebook video. But when I posted her before and after photos, that's when it actually went viral. Like I took a picture before I started her hair, then I took a picture after, then I posted it on Instagram and Facebook. That's when it just went viral. And yeah, I think I posted it like 5 p.m. I was still at the salon. I went home, went to sleep. I woke up, everybody calling me. I got text messages. I get on Instagram over 500K views. And back in the day,
What?
that wasn't, back in the day, that was not
That didn't
popular.
happen. That didn't happen.
Yeah, at all, like that fast. And then like as the time, it's like hour by hour, I was getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views, so many comments. I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? And
And
then
the thing about you and social entrepreneurship is, you have a waiting list of children. You were spending money out of your pocket for 2 years to make these $1,200 pieces for kids. And can you just talk about, the fact that you have a waiting list? And I know that, you want to help more kids.
yeah, I mean, it got to the point where so many people began to reach out, social media, blow up emails, just people just begin to, reach out to the point where I had to set up a system quick, because I'm like, man, like when I did the first giveaway, that's when I realized that it was girls all over the world. I'm like, okay, this is real. Like this is for real. And that's when I learned about September being Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So that's when the Kids Wig Tour came up about, because so many girls in so many different areas of the world need these wigs, right? So to this day, we have a waiting list of almost 200 girls that are in need of wigs. And I'm talking about
Wow.
even in Africa, y'all. I have people, oh my God, it's so many different places. When I see Africa, I'm like, oh my God, I would love to. Like, I can go
I
on
think
and
you're
on.
going to have to go out there and do a little wig expo.
I would
Yeah,
love
right.
I think that's what's next. You're talking about Africa. There's an opportunity right there. This is phenomenal.
So think on that note, so like it sometimes you're in a business and then you have that like overnight success, and it's like, oh my, and that can sometimes put people out of business, too, because it's like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed and I can't fulfill orders and so on. But I just want you to talk a little bit about like, going from that change to like exponential, like all these people on a waiting list, and, you as a business, what were some of the things that you did to create a system to keep you back in business? Because that's not your only job, right? Because you do other hair. And also, are you still doing hair yourself, or do you have others doing it? Have you stepped away from doing hair? Number one.
Yes. I still do hair for now. I'll be honest, I will not be behind the chair too long. Yeah. So
And then,
go
yeah,
ahead.
for that. And then from there, what have you done in order to scale, to grow your business, with all this media and fanfare about what you do? What are you doing with your business to help you grow and scale?
Well, as far as the kids' business goes, it's more so out of pocket right now. So as far as Brie Monique collection goes, it's just growing. I mean, it's I'm not gonna say like it's so much that I'm doing to make it scale and grow. It's literally just it's just happening. But for me, I would say keeping up with what's exciting to your customers, staying in communication with your customers, and man, just being consistent. I think consistency is everything, and just showing up for your business. Yeah.
How can people find you, find your information?
Okay. Well, I can be found on all social media platforms. Instagram, Bree Styles, and that's with a Z. Also, Facebook, Brianna Davison. YouTube, Bree Styles as well.
Can you spell that? Is there any like underscore or anything with that? Is it Bree?
Yes. I'm sorry. So let me do that over.
Sure, thank you.
So my Instagram, okay. So I can be found on all social media platforms. I can be found on Instagram at underscore Bree Styles underscore, and that's with a Z. I can be found on LinkedIn at Brianna Davison. I can be found on Facebook at Brianna Davison and YouTube as Bree Styles.
Awesome. So just to kind of wrap it up, let's bring a little levity, a little fun here. So we're going to do at the end of every show, we do one question. We do 3 questions and little fun questions, and it's one answer, Brie. Okay? You got this? Brianna?
I got
it. It'll be fun. Okay, so first question is, if you could have dinner with any historical figure, either alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Ooh, I can have dinner. I would say Miles Monroe.
From Spider-Man? Spideyverse?
No.
Oh, who's Miles Monroe?
Miles Monroe, he's like a motivational speaker. Oh my God, y'all need to go look him up. I need to try to look up Miles Monroe. I mean, this man has wisdom for days, right? Like wisdom for days. And he passed
Brianna,
away.
Is he a speaker? What was he, a speaker, an author, what?
Yes, he's a speaker. He's a big time speaker. I can't believe y'all don't know Miles Monroe. I need y'all to go look now.
Girl,
I don't know him.
And Brianna, we're nerds. You're talking to a bunch of nerds. So now you have everybody going down the rabbit hole. Why?
I would literally love to just listen. Whatever he has to say, I would just be a sponge. And if he allowed me to talk, I would just pick his brain and just ask him certain questions about life. And I would literally pick his brain.
Oh, Brianna, you are an old soul. Next question. What's your favorite guilty pleasure food that you indulge in from time to time?
Oh, baby, I gotta have me some gelato ice cream. I just gotta have it.
Okay.
What flavor?
What kind,
what
Brianna?
flavor?
Butter pecan. It's a lot of flavors, but butter pecan, I gotta have it.
Our mom loves butter pecan.
Mommy loves that. That's her number.
Nice.
Yeah.
That and maple,
gelato though. Gelato.
Oh, sorry, get that right. Gelato. Okay, last question, Brianna. If you could teleport yourself anywhere in the world for a weekend getaway, where would it be? Teleport.
Ooh, there's some juicy questions. I like it. Anywhere in the world right now. Oh my. It's between Bora Bora and Japan. Okay.
Ooh.
And why Bora Bora?
Bora Bora for the views, for the clear water. I see myself on clear blue, icy blue water.
One of those boats that float on the water and all you see down, you can see sharks, and not for me, I'd be too scared.
They have the hotels where you can be in like under the water. Like you can open up your curtains and be in the
girl. They find me dead in the bed. If a shark went by, I'd have a heart attack.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That sounds so fun.
And then Japan.
You did not say dead in the bed.
Dead in the bed.
You are so crazy. That was hilarious.
I would die. That's like my biggest fear. I won't even put my toe in the ocean. Are you kidding me?
With the
not even. Wait, you used to swim. What do you mean? You used to be in the ocean all the time. I remember you fell and broke your.
No, I will
All
dive.
right.
I will do a flip off the diving board. I can swim 7 different strokes in a pool, but I will not go in the ocean with creatures.
Wow, that's new. That's new because you
No.
used to.
Well, fine.
Whatever.
After I get battered, that as well. Next question.
Yeah.
Japan.
Yes.
Brianna, we went down a little rabbit hole. So Japan and why?
Yeah. So
Why Japan, Brianna?
Oh, I thought she was about to ask a question. So I would definitely go to Japan so I can view the large castles myself. Like it's different seeing it online. It's different seeing it, in pictures and magazines. I want to literally just stand in front of a castle and just look at it. Like I want to walk through. I want to see what it. I just like experiences. I want to go see for myself what a castle is like.
Sorry, last thing. I did walk the wall of Japan, about the Great Wall of China. I did handstands on
Before
it.
they-
And
What?
yeah, back in the
do you still have the picture? Do you still have
I
the
do.
picture?
I do. I'm
Wow.
sitting there doing a split on my hands on the wall.
What?
And
you bet-
by the
yeah.
way, we do have to let everybody know that we are very conscious of that China and Japan are two completely different places.
Different places. I know, but she said a castle, and I had to say I've been close to a castle like that. Oh, this has been fantastic, Brianna. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thanks so
everything,
much.
Brianna. Thanks for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me.
And Kanji,
All
the
right,
wrap
well,
up.
everybody.
No, Kanji,
Yeah,
the wrap up. Okay.
I know. I
sorry.
was saying. I was just about to say it, and you
I'm
started
sorry.
talking.
I'm sorry.
This is such a sister podcast. Can I close the podcast,
No.
please?
No.
Oh my God. I hate you and I love you. Okay. Here we go, everybody. We're closing this. As we come to the close of this electrifying episode of Sispreneur Stories, we've been truly inspired by the remarkable journey and heart of our guests. We hope Brianna's journey has ignited a spark of empowerment within you, encouraging you to embrace your dreams and take bold, decisive action to be a social entrepreneur or more. Remember, each step you take can shape your own path to success and create positive change. Until next time, stay fearless and keep igniting your own entrepreneurial fire. This is Kanji.
Aurora.
And Janita.
Signing off.
Signing off.
This is Ernest Strickland, President of the Black Business Association, proud to be your title sponsor on this empowering journey with Sispreneur Stories.